welcome back to another episode with Ainsley. My eyebrows need to be done. Just going to brush. Definitely need to give myself another lamination. I wanted to jump on this episode today and talk to you about some inner worldly wellness and self-care. To speak on just some paradigms that I came across in my life coaching course, and they do make you think. They make you kind of reflect and also reframe your mindset and your inner world to be able to make decisions and make movement in your life that isn't harming you. This is 10 paradigms for life coaching. And the first one is release the pressure to create change and focus on increasing choice. So this is so powerful. There is that pressure to be able to create this image and to be a part of this idea that is beautiful and accepted and belonging. And I feel like that is such a deep core thread of this entire movement, is acceptance and belonging in our community. When we're attractive, we have more of this chance to open up our voice, to have confidence, to be able to connect and to communicate the way we wish, because we have this energy that just feels uplifting and feels good, and that is so amazing. But when it's coming from a place of needing, and there's the pressure around it needing to be that way to be accepted, that's what I feel like it does become the choice. And we're choosing that is what we need to partake in and participate in order to belong. And that is actually not true. So release the pressure to create and focus on increasing choice. And your choice is your power. You can choose to live that life, and you can choose to go another direction or soften the intensity around how you feel inside around this pressure around being beautiful and needing to have this look and this idea that this is the way, and that can be a choice internally that you can make, whether that something is suffocating you or something that is controlling you. Number 2, nothing changes in the world or in anyone else until you change. So powerful. I love these paradigms because this one is like that whole energy of the world. If you want to see change in the world, you start with yourself. And if you're seeing something out in the world, if something feels intense around, let's just keep it in the beauty industry here and in the self-care of our body, and if you're seeing something out in the world that is needing to be changed, and you can see this wow, this is actually really affecting someone, and I'd love to invite you on how you feel that inside, and what is it that you feel like you need to find a different perspective, change the way that you see things, and come to a different understanding around it all. And when we can self-reflect and we can go inwards and start to question ourselves and start to question not who we truly are at our core, but to start asking questions internally around why we feel the certain ways and why are we choosing to make certain decisions in our life, this gives us so much more of a hold on making a discerning decision around what we are putting on our body, what we're putting on our skin, what we are injecting into ourselves, what we are eating, and how we are nourishing ourselves. And this leads into relationships and lifestyle and things that we are doing in our life. And we can start to really make a difference just by you doing it yourself. That is so inspiring when you see someone else doing that, and you see someone else going, oh, I'm gonna make the change within, and I'm just gonna focus on doing my own thing, building myself up, being strong. That energy is infectious. Number 3, every moment, feeling, and experience is perfectly orchestrated for your evolution. Nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. This is probably something that I think a lot of us have probably seen out there. The world isn't happening for, what is it? Nothing's happening to you, everything's happening for you. And that is such a mindset shift when we are starting to understand that life isn't like out to attack us and like harm us and be like in this like mean energy, and it's actually being presented to us to be able to make a decision, to learn from, to grow from, and to be able to hold that as an opportunity and be like, hey, which way do I want to move here? How is this like actually affecting me, and where am I wanting to go with all of this? The next one is, there is never a downside to taking responsibility for your own experience. There isn't. There's no, like, when you, I think I've said this to my partner before, maybe in the last couple of months, of responsibility and how having more responsibility feels like really good and really healthy, because when there's no responsibility happening, it feels like, where am I going? What am I showing up for? What am I doing? You know, having responsibility is actually a really good thing. And I think that sometimes it can be a little bit overbearing and hard to sort of like hold all the time, but I feel like that's the growth, and that is the opportunity for us to grow enough to be able to support the responsibilities that we have in our life. Especially becoming a new mum recently, I have kind of reformulated that idea around responsibility even more, because that responsibility doesn't go away. I can't put a pause on that. It doesn't stop. It's not like something that I can kind of just push to the side and kind of go through my own emotions and let it just sort of fizzle out like I have done before in the past with some things. This responsibility is something that is with me all the time, and that is beautiful. I don't want it any other way. I feel like it's making me a better person to show up, to go through my emotions without pushing away the responsibility, and to really grow and to evolve through holding this, to become the mother that I desire to be, that I am inspired to be, rather than continuously pushing away that version of myself that I know to be true. And I think that the more responsibility that we say yes to, and we go, yes, actually, I'm going to commit to that, I'm going to be responsible for this situation and for this, gives us some sort of power within inside of ourselves. And when we are responsible for our own experience and how we show up to it, and how we translate our own emotions and perspectives, and how we reflect, and how we take responsibility for our own experience that is unfolding in front of us, that is so powerful. I feel like it really releases a lot of energy to the outside world, and you're really taking it all back to yourself to transmute that and alchemize that, to then let it become in harmony again. And you're not kind of like projecting out to the world and holding on to the outside world to kind of get away from this responsibility. And I feel like it gives you more power, which is amazing.